Hello, everyone. This is my mom, my dad, and my brother, and they're gonna be my audience for my how to speak. So, the topic I chose for my how to speech is how to change oil on any vehicle. Changing oil is something everyone has to do in their life or has done in their life. It's approximately one third of people feel confident in changing their own oil. I am positive here everyone has done an oil change, whether it's been at a shop or if they've tried to do it themselves or have done it themselves. When I was younger, I would always help my dad do oil changes, and throughout the years, I've learned and seen how many times he's done it that I'm able to do it myself. In today's speech, I will explain the process on how to change your own oil in three different, and I categorized it in three different ways. I categorized in how to prepare yourself to do an oil change, how to remove the old oil and old oil filter and put the new one on, and how to verify whether or not you did the oil change correctly. So first, let's talk about how to prepare yourself to do an oil change. In order to prepare yourself to do an oil change, you need the proper tools and equipment. So right here, as you can see, I have two ramps which would be used to put the vehicle on to get under it. And if you don't have ramps, you could replace that with the jack and jack stands. Right here, I have a rag as well, just in case if you do get oil on your hands or on your arms, you're able to use it to clean it up. Right here, I have a funnel which is used to pour the oil down once you are putting the new oil in. I have gloves right here as well, which is used to protect yourself from getting burnt from hot oil. The oil that you're going to need, the oil filter is also something you're going to need. A ratchet with a socket, the correct socket. That way you're able to use it to untighten the drain plug to empty out the oil, and the oil pan to collect all the old oil. So now that we've talked about how to prepare yourself, let's talk about how to remove the old oil and the old oil filter and add the new oil with the new oil filter. So the first thing you want to do is put the car on the ramps that we have right here. Or like how I said, if you don't have the ramps, you could use the jack with jack stands. Then you want to bring all the tools that you're going to need under the car, which is the oil pan, the ratchet with the correct socket for the drain plug, the gloves, and that'll and a rag as well, just in case. So then you want to loosen the drain plug with the ratchet and socket once you have put the gloves on. Position the oil pan right under and loosen it up. And once it's loose, you could unscrew it with your hands and kind of pull the drain plug fast away so that all the oil drips into the oil pan. So once you see that all the oil is already done dripping into the oil pan, you could hand tighten the drain plug back and tighten it back with the ratchet. So then once you're done with that, you're going to be able to take out the old oil filter, but make sure that you use a rag because sometimes the oil filter does leak oil from it, from the old oil. Then you want to open the new oil, get a glove, and kind of dip your finger in the new oil just a little bit and rub it around the rubber gasket. So that way, when you do the oil change the next time, it's not as hard to get out, to take it out. And on top of that, you have to know how much quarts your car needs, which is also in the instruction manual. So that's where the funnel comes in as well. You put the funnel and you start pouring the oil to the correct amount of quarts the cart needs. So now that we've talked about how to remove the old oil filter and the oil and how to add the new oil and oil filter, we're going to talk about how to verify if you changed the oil correctly. So one way, and this is the main way a lot of people verify it, is they try to make sure that they're not leaking oil from under the car after they're done doing everything. And so that could help too. But if you are not unsure, if you kind of want like a second verification, you could also use the dipstick that the oil or that the engine has, which checks how much oil you have, which is two little circles, which is one on the bottom and one on the top. And the oil has to be right in between the two or closest to the top circle. And the last way to check is by turning on the car and making sure that you don't hear any unusual noises. So in conclusion, this speech has given a better idea of how to change the oil yourself, and hopefully it encourages y'all and the rest of my classmates to feel confident into changing the oil themselves. We've discussed how to prepare yourself to do an oil change, how to remove the old oil and the new oil, or how to remove the old oil with the oil filter and how to add the new oil with the oil filter, and how to verify if you did the oil change correctly. Like I said, 1/3 of people feel confident in doing so, so hopefully this speech kind of gives the encourage, kind of helps y'all feel more confident into doing the oil changes yourselves.